Hi, I'm Madonna, and this is New York. See the puddles? Isn't it wonderful?
You know, sometimes people think that if you're a girl, you're going to be a pushover, and they can get away with more. They can kind of pull the wool over your eyes. You're not going to be as strong as a man and like getting what you want, demanding what you asked for. But I just surprise them when they see that they're wrong. And on the other hand, the advantages are the charms, you know, that people always fall for.
Ooh, you got me just so crazy over you. We love Madonna, we love Madonna, we love Madonna, we love Madonna.
You're listening to MLVC, the Madonna podcast, your place for all things Madonna Louise, Veronica Ciccone. Hey everybody, it's Stefan.
Hey guys, it's Tony, and it's all about survival.
At this point, yes. And this is Liberty. Hello, everybody. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Liberty and Stefan.
Hello everyone, welcome to season 4. I am shocked and elated that we are actually beginning the 4th year of this podcast.
That's just how much there is to say.
I never planned this far ahead. I'm grateful to have a show to do and people to talk to and people to listen and people for us to listen to too, you know?
And not patting myself on the back, but what about that catchy new theme song we've got going on? I mean, first, let's give some props to Liberty for taking the reins on We Love Madonna, the official theme song of season 4.
Bravo. It's a bop. It's a bop.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. Absolutely. I mean, you know, I love singing. I love music, you know, and I love Madonna. So all of those things together, and it just, you know, works perfectly for me. Mm-hmm. So thank you for having me on it. I appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome. No, thank you for taking the reins on my little idea that could. I was like, you know what? We need to switch it up. Madonna loves to reinvent herself every album. And I thought, again, for a new season of the podcast, let's reinvent our opening. So we're giving you a little anthemic Madonna song, all for you.
Meanwhile, I'm screaming, I'm not changing my fucking show.
Yeah.
No, it sounds great. I love a new theme song. I feel like something's been washed all over me, you know?
And we'll, at some point, let you hear the full song, because there is a full song. It's not just that little snippet. There's a lot of goodness that Liberty lays down on the track, and it's amazing, and it's good. All good things. We'll let you hear it real soon.
A whole lot of hotness coming your way, guys. I promise.
Mm-hmm. Well, so before we get into a bevy of Madonna conversation, how is everyone? Liberty, how was your break? How are things?
My break was really good. We stayed home. We didn't do much of anything. I did have some guests in my home, and that was nice to have few friends or family around. But other than that, we pretty much laid low and kept it on the home front this year, which is not that unusual lately. But that's what we did. How about you? What did you do?
Tony, you go first.
Oh, me? Well, I'm here in Mazatlan, Mexico, and I had... I mean, it feels weird saying that I had Christmas because it was like, you know, 75, 80 degrees. But yeah, I mean, it's been good. It's been good. I'm, you know, kind of getting over that adjustment period. And now I'm starting to like really feel like I live here. And yeah, I'll keep you guys posted. I mean, it's fun. And yeah, come visit.
Yeah, trust me, it's snowing outside right now. And I'm like, yeah, I need to get out of here.
Yeah.
Are you you're a Mazatlanian? Or what is it?
They call them Mazatlecos. No, I think, I mean, you know, like Carrie Bradshaw says you have to live in New York for 10 years to become a New Yorker. So I'm thinking I got to live here for 6 months before I become.
Okay, sounds good. And Stefan?
Yeah, no, things have been good, you know, working, making some money, trying to stay busy.
And let's not forget, Stefan has also been seen on TV.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, right. And just like that, if you haven't watched the show, there's 2 times you can clearly see me and 2 times you can't. But I'm so glad that show's out because it was so tough to hold on to those secrets. If I won't spoil them here in case you haven't seen the show, but like I knew two of the really big secrets that were happening in the show, and I'm so glad I can finally talk about them.
I haven't been watching on my phone, so I really can't. I haven't been able to see you, but
I screen grabbed it. You just go on my Instagram, you'll see it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
For doing that for me, because my vision, I had to get new glasses over the break. That was that's my reinvention. That, and I've changed my hair
You're
color.
dark now. Yeah, I love this Madonna
Looks
MTV
good.
10 look you've got going on here.
Ooh, yeah, good call. Yeah, I see
Glycerin.
that.
I need more glycerin.
Yeah, I'm here because I wanted to talk to you about us and all that we've been through. I always love that. I use that. I did. Sorry to digress for 1 second. I did
Go ahead.
I did drag once in college. My persona's name was Shampoo Versace, and it was a sorority benefit. They paired one sorority with a fraternity member, and of course, my first year in the fraternity, I was like, I'm doing Miss Hofstra USA. Yes, I am. There was no question I was doing it. My talent section, all of the people would always do some stupid, lame lip sync to Madonna songs. And I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm going the other way. Everyone else can dance to Madonna. So what I did was I did a little monologue, and it was after Madonna's MTV 10. So I used a little bit of that and some stupid soap commercial that was on TV at the time. And that was and so I had a little cardboard cutout of a bathtub, and I was in the bathtub with a shower hat on and doing a dramatic reading of Madonna's MTV 10. No one knew,
Of course not.
what I was doing. I was like, everyone was just staring at me with this blank expression, and I was reenacting. Basically, I was selling my shampoo because that was my character. It was a lot of fun. It was a hoot. I lost because I insulted the hosting sorority because the woman who was playing the host was getting progressively wasted throughout the event. And by the end of it, I was just like so fed up. And the question that they ask you on the little question and answer thing, I picked it out of the hat, and it was, if you had the ability to do one thing, what one thing would you change in the world? And I looked at her and I said, I would teach everyone how to have good, clean hair just like me. And I'll start with you first, honey. And a standing round of applause from everyone in the auditorium. However, the administration didn't think it was kind that I was insulting the hosting sorority, so I did not place, but I was the best.
Yeah, the most memorable.
Yeah.
Oh, hells yeah. Speaking of memorable, I'd like to give a shout out, huge thank you to Donald Ely. We had him on last season. He's a graphic designer, and he was the one who designed our amazing new logo for season 4. This season, we decided to choose Madonna's Folktronica opus music as our inspiration for the season, and Donald was gracious enough to put together some artwork that would make anyone want to singy. So, Donald, thank you. It was an impressive instant the moment I saw that, and we love it. So thank you.
Yes, thank you, Donald. It looks amazing. And Stefan, never, ever, ever say those words again.
Yeah, it's super cute. And you know what I really like is that, when people who all love something come together and they're like, here's a little thing I did. Maybe you want to use this. And I just think that's really cool. Mm-hmm. We're all able to share how much we love Madonna with our different, for lack of a better word, voice, the different things, like our talents that kind of shine through. And I like that. That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Community.
Yeah. It's kind of like bringing a covered dish to the Madonna show,
Right. It's
Yes.
Madonna potluck.
Yeah.
Potluck.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Let's.
We'll save that.
Good. I was gonna say good segue. Let's. I think it's time for the very first 2022 edition of.
And now, This Week in Ciccone.
See, I get what I want.
This must be the Omicron edition.
Well,
Speaking of Hi Donna,
Yes.
What's she been up to, Liberty?
Well, it's kind of a grassroots thing she's got going in Stad, where she, well, of course, now she has gone there a few times. She's been there. She's well versed in the geography of the Swiss ski
Alps?
chalets in
The bunny
Gstaad.
slopes.
And of course, the whole family was in tow for this adventure, including boyfriend Ala Malik, who I hadn't actually seen in a minute. So I was interested to see that he was there. She also was able to give us a little preview of the next tour. Influence star, the yodeling guys. I've been waiting for it. The bagpipes in Reinvention Tour, that really captured my imagination. I really loved that. So
Calican Trio we had in MDNA.
Oh yeah, this is the next Leila Palatute Batuka like extravaganza,
Totally. Yeah, get prepared to cry, Tony, because she's gonna whip out those Swiss yodelers. I'm telling you, Yodel Shop, it's the Candy Shop remix. It's coming our way.
Oh my God.
Like a yodel.
Oh,
love don't yodel here anymore. I can go all day with this.
Turn up the yodeling.
Turn up the yodeling.
I'm telling you, you saw her face. Ricardo was filming her while she was listening to those yodelers, and she looks at the camera with that knowing look, like, you guys are going to get some yodeling on the next tour.
Well, see, now while there will be yodeling in the next tour, there will not be amusement park rides on her next tour.
No.
Did you guys see her face when she was on that dumb?
She was
that
was not having that.
Even I felt bad for her. I was like, ooh, why would anyone put her on that thing? Or why would she even allow anyone to like talk her into like...
I'm such a huge roller coaster fan. I mean, it's either you love them or you're frightened of them.
Yeah.
She just looked like she was completely indifferent. It was as if like she was having some bland food during dinner that was not appetizing to her.
It's like me when my kid is like, Mom, please, can you please ride the Joker here at Fiesta Texas in San Antonio with me? And I'm like, I guess. And I just get on there and I'm like, oh gosh, I hope I don't.
And then someone snaps a photo of you and there's that face.
That there's going to be very minimal, retouching of that photo. That's another reason that was a little bit probably.
Well, yeah, that's like Stefan just referred to, her control issues. I mean, she can't control anything that's happening while she's strapped into that thing.
That's right. Actually,
I'm happy when we get to see those like random paparazzi shots though, because we actually get to see her real face. Like,
yes,
I mean, look, the face tuning, she looks beautiful and all, but I love seeing her in person. When I got to see her in Harlem last year, I was like, oh, she's gorgeous. Stop face tuning. You look amazing.
It's like seeing a rare salamander in the wild.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
We're not, just so you know, we're not comparing Madonna to salamanders. We're just...
They are. It's a beautiful and preposterous creature. It is. Much like Madonna.
Mm-hmm.
So then it looks like at the beginning of last week, Madonna's jet lag was nowhere to be found because she was like in LA, right? And she was having a dinner date with Julia Fox that turned into a party with Kanye and a bunch of other people. And I mean, I've heard for the last, since 2020, someone I know actually tweeted, let's get Julia Fox to play Debbie Mazar in the Madonna movie. And then a couple of people did the same thing, and it ended up in W Magazine, as I mentioned. And, I mean, it's just like, fans wishing, for that to happen. But I don't know. I mean, Madonna wrote in her Instagram, I think, that she was meeting with her for the movie. And that's what I pieced together with my, deductive reasoning.
I mean, I could see that, because I didn't know who she was other than the woman who's Kanye's current beard. And
I mean, a fun fact to be had, she was like, one of those nightlife girls downtown, like in the 2000s and last 10 years. But she was in the Safdie brothers movie Uncut Gems a couple of years ago. It was her film debut. She played Adam Sandler's girlfriend. And there's a scene where he goes to her apartment and Rain is playing. And it's like a pivotal scene in the film. So, you know, she's been a Madonna fan. That was her idea for that to, you know, be part of her character. Mutual Admiration Society. But Madonna's longtime friend Kim Kardashian did not appreciate that. I guess she unfollowed her. I mean, this is all so gossipy, but I mean, it's what's happening to this mature woman of the world. You know, she's hanging out with these youngsters and then gets caught in this whirlwind of oh no, you didn't. You know?
Yeah, it's strange. I mean, I know I didn't know who Julia Fox was. I had to like Google her and find out, and then it was like also at that dinner was like Kanye West, or sorry, Ye, as he apparently wants to be called.
Is it Ye? Is it Ye?
Ye? Is it Kanye?
Is it Ya?
I've been saying Ye just because it's ridiculous. And also, I think in tow, former professional boxer Floyd Mayweather, football wide receiver Antonio Brown, like all these random people.
Oh, and Evan Ross, but not his wife, Ashley Simpson, which would have been hilarious to see her and Madonna in the same room sneering at each other.
Yeah, it was. I mean, look, Madonna was looking fresh and fabulous, and, you know, lifestyles of the rich and famous. And I think they were at some trendy private club in downtown LA. And I think, Liberty, you and I were talking about how, like, after Madonna left, Kanye got involved in some sort of like dispute, and he's now being investigated for suspicion of battery.
I watched the video.
Oh,
I think it's right after the alleged incident, and there's a lot of yelling, and Kanye is just ranting as excuse me, I'm so sorry, I'll never get that right. Ye was yelling a lot, ranting. There was someone who is possibly related to him with him at the time, a woman yelling, you know, come on, calm down, you know, trying to kind of center him a bit, but he just wasn't having it. He walked down the street.
Well, I mean, we all know it's publicity for his upcoming headline appearance at Coachella, la 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 la. I mean, that's obviously, it's all for Coachella.
Well, you know, there's unverified British press items that I saw over the weekend. You know, one of them saying that Madonna was going to get Lourdes to play her in the film, that Julia Fox was already cast in, which is like, none of those things are true. And the other thing too, and you guys can Google this if you haven't seen it already, where it said that Madonna's talking to Kanye about doing a sequel to Bedtime Stories, doing an R&B album, and I'm like, says who? You know,
who's spreading these rumors? I
British
saw that
tabloids.
I saw that. I'm like, wow, we are desperate for some new Madonna music. You know, we're hungry. Yeah. If people are like trying to invent Bedtime Story 2. Now, as much as the work that Kanye did on Rebel Heart I enjoyed, I doubt they're doing anything remotely close to a Bedtime Story 2.
No, I don't think it would be that R&B-y. And I think we know the musical direction Madonna's kind of leaning these days is a little bit more
up and down and all around.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't listen to Ye, I'll be frank. He's not my cup of tea personally. And I have a hard time with those who are, you know, saying he's a genius and he's possibly. I've never worked with him, and I will never work with him. But I am concerned for Madonna's, you know, I guess foray into Kanye's world or Ye's world. It's a little I don't know. It's just, it looks contrived. I'm not.
I just hope that she makes good choices, because this has happened not just to her, it's happened to a lot of people. It's like, this is the sound of the moment. This is what the kids are listening to. And then you make that album and then it comes out and that music is over, you know? And I hope that she doesn't fall into that trap where she's like, yeah, this is going to sound just like what everyone's doing right now. And then by the time it gets released, it's like God, Madonna, that
And
we've already
she's
heard.
never done well when she's looking to others in her circle. She always is. She tends to excel, I think, when it's like her own idea. Really,
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain that better, but I would like to see her maybe sequester herself from those outside influences.
Yeah.
Let it simmer within. But I think a lot of times she's like reaching, she's looking for the idea, and maybe she finds inspiration because that Ye talks probably a mile a minute about wild things, and hey, who knows? Maybe she pulls a little nugget here and there.
Yeah, exactly. She takes what she likes from column A and she takes one from column B and then she throws everything out,
Right.
Well,
But-
and she has been obviously in the studio. We know she was doing stuff with Sway Lee back in December, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people agreed that that's probably for his upcoming album, but that could also go on hers if she is working on something of her own.
I kind of got the idea because it was kind of simmering around the same time as the Sikic and the Frozen. What do you call that? It's like snippet. It's not a full
Remix
song.
I mean,
the remix.
He remixed it.
Reimagining.
Yeah.
Biographical reimagining of the
They
song.
said there'd be a full version at some point, and so I thought,
Yeah, it's on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if maybe the first album that Warner Brothers is going to be sort of putting out, re-releasing, if you will, is Ray of Light, and if they're sort of like using the Frozen remix to repackage that with.
That would be way too easy and way too opportunistic.
Who knows?
They'll never do that.
I mean, as we've also seen just recently, she teased on her Instagram that apparently coming soon, which we know with Madonna could mean a year or two from now, that she's going to be releasing her 50 number one dance hits. I don't know if that's some sort of like double disc compilation physical packaging or if it's just going to be a streaming thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, I am already setting myself up for disappointment because I'm assuming that with a new greatest hits is going to be coming a new song, and I know that I'm going to be disappointed, but I'm hoping that we, like she did with Immaculate Collection and Celebration, that we will get at least one new song, and it's a dance song, and it'll be the lead single to present with the new and apparently I'm assuming it's going to be remixes of all of her 50 number one dance songs over the last 30 years.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care if there's a new song. I mean, there's really no room for a new song in 50 number one hits, but
51. It could be 51.
Not if that one is not a hit,
Right.
then it
be a
just
hit.
negates the whole thing,
I believe in
but
Madonna.
But I think that they need to respect the fans and not give us 3 minute 50 second versions of remixes that should be 5, 6, 7 minutes. So I don't know.
Yeah, like proper treatments of the songs so that we can fully enjoy them.
He's clearly getting creative.
Yeah, we don't want something that's, like Mike Dean in there, like changing everything completely. I mean, he's a good producer and everything. He's got ideas, but I don't want it to be all rapidified, if that's...
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see what happens there.
Can you imagine? They're just so stoned. They think everything sounds amazing. And then we get it. We're like, what exactly is going on with this album?
Hey, I also hope we get a physical release. That would be nice.
Yeah, that would be really good. I did read somewhere somebody said something like maybe it would be just a Spotify playlist, which would be kind of unfortunate, if it's just that, nothing physical. It would be better if it was...
and going back to what Stefan said, something cohesive like an Immaculate Collection where everything is redone and presented in a new way. So, it's Madonna's hits, but,
Right. something
not
that
the same.
yeah.
I'm referring to it as You Can Dance 2 because I assume who knows, maybe it'll run like it'll be all of her 50 hits remixed into one long ongoing party.
Yeah.
You know, like that would
You
be
Can
like,
Dance also.
yeah, 2 hours of nonstop Madonna. It's all Madonna all the time. It'll be amazing. Put it on at your next bachelorette party and just have some Jello shots and just get crazy.
Right. Just like it'll be all the women who will love it that are, the ones at the concert that are just.
Totally. Oh my God. All the women at Philadelphia's Madam X show that were screaming about listening to Material Girl. You're gonna get your wish, ladies.
Yeah.
And then there's
your wish.
And then there's the disclaimer, the new song is not a number one song.
Right. Well, it's strange. I mean, like I heard recently that on TikTok, Material Girls kind of making a comeback. This is what we hear at school because the high school kids are all about TikTok lately. I know nothing personally about TikTok. I avoid it like the plague.
Oh, you're on TikTok. I've seen you on TikTok, Liberty.
Okay, a little bit.
It's quite scandal.
I don't know how to work that TikTok.
Well, it's fun. I mean,
Is it
You've done a good job. You've done a good job. The videos are interesting. I'm not quite sure what you're making in some of them, but
yeah, I don't
can't
either.
tell if they're cooking videos or if they're like.
I mean, look, I'm just on. It's because I started, working out again and trying to do kind of New Year, New Me stuff, and so I was like, I'm just gonna make a separate TikTok just for fitness. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Well, I mean, there's only so many Jillian Michael videos you can watch in one day. I mean, come on, let's be realistic. I used to have the Marky Mark workout VHS.
Yes, I had Cindy Crawford.
I did not use it to work out. Let's be real.
Oh, no.
It was just nice, something to watch. Just watch Marky Mark work out. I mean, it was.
Get inspired.
It was pretty.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. I'm having some popcorn. It's a movie.
Yeah, I never understood that glittering time in our lives when everyone had a workout video. I was always wondering why Madonna never had one. I mean, she came close with that aborted deal with Nike with the aerobic dance shoes, but I mean, maybe that would have been the closest thing, right?
That's
Well, she
true.
got her Hard Candy Fitness. I mean, she.
Well, that was after that.
Yeah.
She didn't need a videotape. She had a whole gym chain.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it just didn't work out. The timing wasn't right. I mean, there was just nothing in it for her, I think.
Yeah, I think she talked about it in her Madam X Q&A. They asked her, how do you stay fit? And she's like, well, basically she said that, she's not as crazy about it as she used to be because she had her hip replacement. But you have to keep your mind fit, you have to fight hard and you have to claw your way through, So.
Yeah. Mm-hmm, because she just doesn't want to be taken advantage of anymore. Okay, it's that she doesn't need that. Troy, what is his name? Tory Lanez.
Did you hear the song? Because the minute I put it on, I was like, wow, he doesn't even waste a beat. You know, it's just like steal.
It was like he went to karaoke and queued up Into the Groove and just sang his own lyrics.
Yeah, he even picked a weird remix too, which is funny.
And that's what I don't get. I mean, he could have just gone, I have some songs on Spotify from Madonna covers. And
yeah, but that's you, Liberty. That's you.
I know. And,
You're a one-name artist, and you guys have
Yes.
different rules,
That's right. I do what I want. Us with one name.
No, but you paid for those. You went the legitimate route. Like you licensed the songs.
That's right. I did. It's easylicensing.com. And
your version of Angel is quite stunning.
Yeah. So, what was that website again?
easylicensing.com.
Yeah, Tory Lanez, look it up.
Yeah, we're texting it to him right now. Hold on.
Yeah, stay in your lane, Tory Lanez.
Jesus Christ. I mean,
come on. I mean, and so you just go on there, you pay for the recording and, or the license to record, and then you have, do it the right way.
Lawyers calling you,
you've pissed her off if she's commenting on your Instagram post.
Oh yeah,
if you get a clap back on Instagram from Madonna, I'd be scared to
not only commenting, but
lawyer.
check your DMs, which is embarrassing.
Right?
Yeah.
Seriously.
I don't want her lawyers coming after
Actually,
me.
I'd be really happy if we got a message like that. Like Madonna sending, please stop podcasting about me. Check your DMs. I'd be like, oh my God, this is so fun.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. Check your DMs is the new Junior. Are you there?
Yeah.
Right. This is Madonna. And I'm all for, doing it the right way, making your music and doing your thing. And I think it's a way to honor her, but you don't want to steal what she already did. So what else? We've got also the Take About remixes, which, not much to say, really. I mean, oversaturation of hip hop.
You know what? I remember when the Take a Bow remixes were finally released on streaming, I was excited because I absolutely adore Take a Bow as a song.
Yeah.
But I was instantly reminded how disappointing I remembered the remixes being when they were released, because there wasn't anything. It was just like the silky smooth remix and like an instrumental remix, and that was about it.
Yeah, this is one of Madonna's famous missed opportunities, because when R&B was really big, when Bedtime Stories came out, like that was everything you heard on the radio. So everybody that came out with a new album had to have that pivot, and it was some people did really great with it. But then they decided to remix most of Madonna's singles from Bedtime Stories in, this like R&B radio remix that never really got played in R&B radio.
No, I never heard it ever.
And it also took her out of the song, because, for example, someone like Mariah Carey, who at the same time had an R&B remix of one single, and then she had a dance remix of the same single, and she would sing new vocals for both the R&B and the dance remix. That's something Madonna could have kind of taken on during Bedtime Stories and really changed the sound of the album. I mean, if we would have had like a, what would have at the time have been one of these like 8-minute circuit party dance remixes of Take a Bow, that song was already number one. It was going to be a bigger hit, right?
Yeah. Oh, that would have been fantastic. Can you imagine like a big old 8-minute club anthem of Take a Bow? That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Madonna,
Yeah, if they can do the same thing
for the 50 number ones.
Yeah, if that's around the same time, they can do the same thing with like, the Titanic song. They can do the same thing with Take a Bow.
Totally.
But instead, we got this weird, like, what would it sound like if the music was different? Which is basically it,
Yeah.
I don't think I got through them when I bought them, and I didn't get through them when I heard it in streaming. But, but still, Take a Bow is Madonna's biggest hit.
Gosh,
ever.
I can't. Is it really? Like, wow, it's hard to think about. And I know a few years ago she played it on the Rebel Heart tour, right? Where was that? In the Philippines, I think. And it was such a big moment. One of the things that I think Madonna does sometimes is she's like records it, moves on. She doesn't want to revisit, re-record, redo. Her vocals that she's already done one time. It's just kind of like missed opportunities to re-record, and make a vocal sound a little bit different. Sometimes I wonder if maybe her hustle isn't as much there.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you, but I mean, from, doing my research and, talking to all these different producers, Madonna's like the one take artist. So she, like with everything else in her career, I don't want to go back and do those vocals. I did them already, except of course, I always have to bring this up. The Miami mix.
I was waiting for you to bring it up.
The Miami mix and Buenos Aires, she redid those vocals, and I mean, never sounded better.
I love her vocals on the Don't Cry For Me Argentina remix. She sounds amazing.
She sounds free, she doesn't sound rehearsed. It sounds like, all right, turn it on, and there she goes,
Yeah, it's like they just like, okay, go Madonna. And then she just like belted it out in one take. And then she was like, okay, and lunch.
Yeah.
No one eats.
Let's go do yoga.
I'd like a sear ahi tuna salad with a little honey mustard on the side, please.
Oh.
You think she would do honey mustard? Maybe. I think she likes candy, so I guess she would like a sweet dressing, Well,
it wouldn't be balsamic. That wouldn't go with
that
wouldn't go with the tuna.
Squeeze a lemon.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I don't know. I sometimes get so hung up on like what is Madonna like ordering for lunch at a restaurant? You know?
Right. Like, is it
In 1980 or
She brings her own chef.
in
Like,
1990, and then in 2000, and now she's like, "Can I just get a shake and a burger?"
Yeah.
You know? Madonna, don't do it. Remember when it was macrobiotic?
Oh yeah. I mean, gosh, she was always so particular. It looked like on the outside looking in, right, about what she would put in her body, and now it's kind of like, meh,
She's
Yeah.
got the munchies, y'all. Hi, Donna is hungry. She's you're not smoking all that weed in the studio and then asking for a salad. You're getting like cheeseburger and fries from In-N-Out. Come on.
No. I like to think that she's like an Epicurean kind of lady still. She'll have her French
eating
fries.
soup out of those tins.
Yeah, she'll be eating like a very elegant French onion soup. Better make that too, and then some nice French fries with rosemary on them. It's got to be tasteful, but it's
Done in the air fryer. Done in the air fryer.
That's right. 2022, we're all about the air fryer, and
A little organic brownie.
But yeah, I mean, back to what Liberty was saying though, it's like we want to hear that like hustle that we know Madonna's still got buckets of,
Yes,
and
right.
and I'm hoping that these musical projects that we can expect this year will have more of that. I mean, recently I found on YouTube, it was Madonna's Danceteria demo, the one that it was the tape that she carried around to all the clubs, and it was the tape that they gave to Michael Rosenblatt at Sire Records, and it's the one that Mark Kamen's played at Danceteria that night. And it's what is it, 4 or 5 songs, and it's like a live band. It's Stephen Bray played instruments and produced it, because remember, he was not allowed to produce on the first album. So this is like them working together.
Recording.
And it's just crazy. It's so good. It's like, it sounds like a funk band, and it was like kind of Madonna overdoing it, like throwing everything but the kitchen sink into it, but it works, And then when you hear some of the same songs on the first album, they sound very sparse almost, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think for people who haven't heard the Danceteria demo tape, it's basically the same music that Stephen Bray released later in Madonna's career. Like, I think it was like early mid 90s, and
I think it's Pre-Madonna, right?
Yes,
Pre-Madonna.
Pre-Madonna.
I think but like Europe called it something else, early Madonna or something. And it's basically those. And I think I remember purchasing Pre-Madonna, and when I listened to it, I was appalled at how
Shocked and appalled.
Simple and just raw it sounded, and I just was not in the right frame of mind for it at the time. And Tony, when you told me that you found it and you sent it to me, and I heard "Don't You Know,"
Don't
oh my
You
God!
Know.
When I heard "Don't You Know," I was like, "This is the Madonna song I've been waiting for." I was like, "This is amazing!" It's like perfect '80s, and it was like it's so raw and like perfect Stephen Bray, and then like "Stay" is amazing. Like it's a bit more dancey and funk, and I was like, "This is what I need her to do." Like I'm hope that's.
Yeah.
For all you listening, whenever I say I hope she does new music for the movie, this is what I'm talking about. I want her to do. Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
it would be perfect.
Right. I love
Yeah,
it.
Have you heard
let's
it,
get her
Liberty?
to work
You've heard
with
it, right,
a
Liberty?
band again.
Oh yeah, I have it. I have the CD. I mean, I got it probably in the late 90s. I used to drive a big old van. It was called the Hooptie, and had a really good sound system. We'd drive around and like smoke joints and listen to. I'd make my friends
Oh
listen
my
to.
God. Was it carpeted? Was it a carpeted van?
Yes, it was carpeted.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Liberty had a
Had a
sex
little
van.
TV. Yeah. It was a conversion van. It was my grandma's. Yeah, but we would, it was the Hooptie. It was.
I haven't heard the word hoopty since I left Texas.
Yeah. So we would, we weren't.
All your
listening-
friends were in the background. You'd pull up to the McDonald's drive-thru. You order a bunch of like shakes and chicken nuggets, like just toss them in the back.
Exactly. Well, college food, right? And I just toss it back there and like, here, have a cheeseburger, and then let's pop in some Sublime. And we weren't listening to Sublime. Of course, I was making them listen to Madonna because, of course, I was a big Madonna fan.
Green Day.
Yeah, Green Day. Yeah.
Stoner rock.
Right. Anything from the West
Mark
Coast.
McGrath.
Yes, Sugar Ray. Gosh.
Did you guys ever hear that rumor that Mark McGrath and Madonna like dated for like a hot second?
Oh, he's a
That was, you know what? If that was true, Mark McGrath definitely
For
he
sure.
dated up for that.
yeah, and he's like a VJ. I mean, a DJ on
Sirius, yeah.
Yes, exactly. Which I love Sirius.
I know, me too.
It's super fun. But anyways, we would just kind of, drive around, and I mean, I would make my friends listen to my Madonna records, and
Oh,
I know. I mean, I'm kind of like that as a friend. To be, hey, we're gonna listen to Madonna now, and you guys have no choice in the matter. But there's something to be said. I mean, at that time, when I got the CD, the hottest records were like Backstreet Boys and sugary, sappy, sweet pop music, which is fine. But the early Pre-Madonna, it just has such a good production quality. It's pretty advanced for that
Totally.
for that time. And Stephen Bray did an amazing job of the way
His
that the record
production is
sounded.
amazing on those songs. That's why, like, I was so happy to take those songs back in again, because as I was listening to them, I'm like, why wasn't this the first album? Like, why did we get deprived of Stephen Bray? And I'm sure, Madonna was just like thrilled to have a record deal. So she was just like, sorry, Stephen.
well, no, that's what happened. It's that the label said Stephen Bray's never worked professionally, and they had Reggie Lucas, the guy who wrote Borderline. He wrote a couple of the songs on the album, and he had done a lot of R&B records, so he was hired to be the producer.
Right.
And they like Jelly Bean wasn't allowed to produce either. He was like a co-producer, I think. I mean, but yeah, I mean, it would have had a different sound. It would have reflected Madonna more rather than what was on the charts. The R&B dance charts, because that's what they were trying to position her as. Remember, they didn't show her face in the first single.
That's right. And it was just not the direction, right, that they were going with that, or how they wanted to have the record. But gosh, there's some other really good songs. What is there? Stay 81. Aint No Big Deal is on there too. And Aint No Big Deal ended up being a B-side, right, to True Blue?
Yeah. Aint No Big Deal is Madonna's first B-side.
Wow. It's so wild to think about, because it really is a different song, like soundscape-wise, than True Blue.
I don't know. I remember... So, yeah, that song was obviously recorded for the first album. And then I remember, you know how like when you're a kid and you're at your friend's house and first thing you do is you go look at their tapes, right?
Of course.
And this girl had and I'll never forget this tape, and I've never seen it since, but I know it exists because I had to Google it. And it was called Revenge of the Killer Bees, and it was put out by Warner Brothers Records, and it was a collection of all the B-sides from all the artists on the Warner Brothers label, and it had Madonna Aint No Big Deal, and I was like, never heard this song before.
Wow.
Like, what is this, So that must have been like 84, 85.
Wow.
But,
okay.
I think if I'm not wrong, a lot of labels would put out like compilation albums, and these things would end up. I think Goodbye to Innocence ended up on a Sire record.
Yeah, that was on the Roe versus Wade CD, I think, that they had out.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's interesting to me that Aint No Big Deal couldn't be an album track when her first two albums were so abbreviated, right? They were like 8 to 10 songs.
Yeah, very limited.
Well, exactly. Like, don't you know, why was that not on the first album? Like, that was such a good song. I mean,
that song has a different feel, I think, than let's say Lucky Star, or even Holiday. So it wasn't exactly in the same vein. I don't know if it would really fit with the rest of the songs that came out at that time. I mean, that came out with the first album. But who knows? Their decisions, they made the ones that they made because it was just the right ones to make at the time. History was made that way, right? So if it had gone a different way, who knows? But really, one of my favorite songs on that is the very last song. Oh, what is it called? Laugh to Keep from Crying. Yes. Okay. So I love it. I love the Chrissy Hynde vibe. It's rock. I love the feel of the song. And what I think, also is we know that, Madonna is highly influenced by literature and reading, and she always shares, what she's reading on her Instagram. She'll show,
Madonna's
books.
book club. I mean, I'm a member.
Yes, exactly. Like Mary Oliver, I think she's reading, and what is when she gets this inspiration, like where is she thinking this could take her in the future? I want to know, what kind of literature is what guides her, and what was she reading then in the early 80s? What was she reading at that time? Because I feel like she's a hungry person for knowledge, hungry for this world experience, and always has been. We laugh about the whole yodeling thing, but really she always has this sort of worldly experience she brings to the table, and she shows people things that they don't know about, and I love that.
Yeah, and I also think that she can kind of take the same energy that she had going into Like a Prayer in American Life, completely not knowing if those sounds or those soundscapes would resonate with people, because they were sounds people had not heard with her voice before. And they were very risky projects that ultimately paid off. I mean, American Life had to take 20 years for it to take off, but it finally did, because the content was great and the risk paid off. And all the fans will agree, in the last 3-4 records, it's a lot of pop music by committee, and I think that like Madam X is a step in the right direction. It's like I'm going to take some risks, and I want to do this on my own. And back to the first album, she doesn't have men telling her what she can and cannot put out anymore.
Right.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where she goes next. It'll be fun.
And with all these reissues coming out this year, maybe, and hopefully a lot of the things we heard in the demo will show up in a cleaned up form.
That would be nice.
Come on, don't you know, Madonna?
It's not good to beg, Stefan.
I know. Well, no, actually, I do this all the time on her social media. If you ever see the MLVC podcast commenting on any of her posts saying, "Don't do dance songs, Madonna, only do slow songs," that's me doing a reverse psychology experiment with Madonna, hoping that she'll read me saying, "Only do slow," and she'll say, "I'm going to go and do a dance song," and then I'll get what I want.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
You'll get exactly what you're looking for, and also a fight, because she's not going to take
Meanwhile, we sound exactly like the front row of the bloated audience at Blonde Ambition, just like sitting there. We're the comment section version of that.
Right. And we don't want to be too hard on her. I mean, I think that it's hard because she's a legend,
Yes.
So she's.
I will consume whatever she gives me faster than Donna can consume an In-N-Out cheeseburger.
Exactly. And I think I can speak for most of the fans. The only thing we fear is Champagne Rosé.
Oh gosh, yeah.
That is our biggest fear. That is
right, look,
that is what wakes us up in the middle of the night.
That's
covered
your
in
one
sweat.
Champagne Rosé comment for 2022. That's it. It's over. It's done.
Yeah, you're done. No more. No more.
Hey, that's my name.
Liberty, thanks so much for stopping by. This was a hoot. I'm Tony. It's so wonderful to see your smiling faces.
I'm so glad that we have the opportunity to get together and have something to fucking smile about.
Oh yeah, because it is pretty rough out there right now. Let me tell you. I mean, it's not. It's always rough.
Yeah, 22 is looking to be just as thrilling and exciting as the last 2 years.
Oh gosh.
Oh my God, we forgot to talk about how Rocco Ritchie is like this super artist.
The new Banksy.
Yeah. So he's got some art, and I think I did see the paintings. And he's under a pseudonym, so it's him, but you're not supposed to know that it's him.
Yeah, I forget his name, but this solves the mystery of why Madonna and Guy Ritchie were suddenly at the same art gallery last year.
Okay.
And trying to avoid each other, and it was because the secret artist was showing his work.
Yeah.
What does he paint?
Paintings.
Yeah.
Is it people? Is it
2 paintings that I saw look a lot like paintings that Madonna would have hanging in her house.
Okay.
One of them actually looked a lot like the one that Moira McFarlane made for
I
her.
thought that too. I thought exactly
Madonna
that.
and Child. How appropriate.
Yeah.
Well, it was great to talk to you guys. And yeah, welcome back. Season 4 is officially on, and we've got a lot of surprises. A lot of them are going to be surprising us because we don't know.
We have no idea what's going on.
Have no idea what's happening.
It's a surprise.
But
Yeah.
if you're surprised, if we're surprised, and that's a great place to be.
Well, I mean, you guys, I just want to say thank you so much. I know that it is a lot of work and that you guys put in the effort. You always get great guests. You always have good questions. And I appreciate that. I'm very thankful to have this podcast.
Oh, stop it.
Yes, it's true. And
This is not a paid endorsement. We did not pay Liberty to say
thank
this.
you. And it's very much appreciated. I mean, the bottom line is if it's not fun for us, we're not putting it out there, you know?
Exactly.
I mean, think of all the lost episodes that Stefan and I never published. I mean, there are some real clunkers in there.
Yeah, speaking of B-sides.
Like that one time that we talked to the guy who was a janitor at the Madison Square Garden when Blonde Ambition was there.
right.
I mean, he told us he had all these exclusives, and there was like nothing. It was crickets.
Oh my
Had to
gosh.
chuck it. What a waste of an hour.
Yeah, it's just
So rest assured, guys, we're only giving you platinum content. And remember, you can always find us on Instagram and Twitter at MLVC Podcast. You can also and should donate to the podcast on Venmo at MLVC Podcast, and become a patron. Subscribe, patron.podbean.com/MLVC Podcast.
And make sure to check out our YouTube channel. We're so happy to be back. We're, throwing lots of fun content up on the YouTube channel, hopefully this season. If anything, go to the YouTube channel just for the colorful comments because people are unfiltered and just love to throw some shade and fun comments all over the place. So,
thanks, guys. Thank you for having me.
Liberty, Tony, wonderful to see you. Everyone, thanks for listening.
We'll see you next time,
See
and
you.
do your thing, people.
Well, now I'll just wait until you all shut up.